Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the July version of the PCL check-in call for the Archdiocese of Atlanta. We welcome you all, and we are going to be having a guest speaker. But before that, of course, we are going to start in the correct way. We're going to pray, and then we're going to give you updates from our side. And then we will have our wonderful guest speaker, Sharon Adams from the Catholic Foundation of North Georgia, talking to us about the new grant cycle coming up and how one does that and what one can ask for, and all good things like that. So, we got another person coming in. So, again, good morning. And today is the feast day of Saint Benedict, the abbot, who is our own Benedict, I'm sure was named after. And so we're going to start with a prayer to Saint Benedict. So this is a tribute. I didn't go down the rabbit hole to make sure this is an exact quote from him, but we're going to go with that this morning. So, in the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit, amen. Gracious and Holy Father, give us the wisdom to discover you, the intelligence to understand you, the diligence to seek after you, the patience to wait for you, the eyes to behold you, a heart to meditate upon you, and a life to proclaim you. Amen. And I would like to open it up if anybody has any particular prayer intentions that you would like to bring forward and that we could pray for. I'd be glad and humbled to be able to do that for you. You can feel free to either put it in the chat or open up your microphones and ask for those prayers. We'd love to pray for you. I guess I can start. Elaine and I both have a former parishioner and youth group mom that we've known from St. Thomas More, who passed away Sunday from breast cancer, metastatic breast cancer. And so we'd like to pray for the soul of Liz, comfort for her family, her husband, and her two beautiful daughters, and all the friends who know and love her. So I'd like to ask for prayers for the repose of Liz's soul and comfort for her family. In your name we pray. Amen. Does anybody else have anything they'd like to offer? Okay, so we hold all our prayers spoken and unspoken in our hearts. And we ask God to encourage us in our work and to give us the wherewithal that we need to start yet another year of beautiful proclamation of the gospel to those people in our parishes, to our own staff, and to encourage other people to walk with the Lord, learn about the Lord, and proclaim the Lord. So we ask all this in Jesus' name. Amen. In the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Okay, so updates from our side. I'm going to just briefly say that we do have permission now, and we will be posting the conferences from Virtual Catholic Conference that we did a couple of years ago. But the good news, but wait, there's more. If you call now, no, there's not only our three conferences, the Eucharistic Congress, the two Catechist conferences that we did, but also everything that VCC has done in the last 2.5 years is open and available and free to us as catechetical leaders. As your catechists can watch them, there's Bible conferences on there. There's retreats on there for men and women. There's apologetics courses of revivals that they did in the last 2.5 years. So that is soon to be posted. We put in the request to have it posted. It's a link. I just want you guys to know that if you click on another conference, it may say you need a password. You do not need a password. Just go up to where you can click on the presentations and they're all free for you. If anybody happens to find a glitch, please let me know and we'll work with VCC on this. But this is a very generous thing that we've been able to work between our office and Virtual Catholic Conference. So please support them. Please use this great resource. You'll find it on our OED page. So that is my first update. And now I'm going to turn it over to Elaine for an update and then a few other people. So take it away.
Okay, I just have one thing that I want to remind the youth ministers that we have our second annual youth ministry retreat at Cove Crest, October 10th through the 12th. So it will begin on Tuesday, October 10th with dinner, and we will end on Thursday with lunch. And lunch will be available to go, just so you all know. So for those who came last year, please come back. And for those who were not able to make it last year, please put it on your calendar. And there'll be more information coming in. I'll have a little, I'll have Benny do a little jot form registration just so we know who all is coming. But I'm really excited about it. I have a woman named Kathy Goler coming to run this retreat for us, and she's going to talk about true accompaniment, as well as some self-reflective things. And she is someone who worked at the Diocese of Buffalo, New York for a long time, was a youth minister, and she's a certified life coach and strengths finder coach. She's just like a whole bunch of things wrapped up in one person. So, and she's lovely. So I'm really excited about that. But October 10th through 12th, put it on your calendars now.
Great, thank you. And Alan, I believe you have an update on young adults.
Yes. So if you have a young adult leader in your parish, or you have a young adult, somebody who does adult faith coordination or formation, they are a young adult formator as well. So we're having a workshop on July 22nd. I just posting something in the chat now. RSVP was by July 19th, but that's okay. You can still RSVP to someone named Kathleen Lazelle. Her email is on what I just posted in the chat. But it starts at 8:30 at Immaculate Heart of Mary in Atlanta, 8:30 to 1 o'clock that day. Breakfast and lunch is provided, and Bishop Tran is celebrating Mass for us that morning. So if you have young adult leaders in your parish, or you got somebody who you want to designate as your young adult leader, please send them to this workshop. It's going to be more a day of rest for them, a little bit of workshopping and a couple of talks, so mainly just a chance to kind of get away and kind of refresh and re-energize.
Great. Thank you, Alan. And before I throw it to Monica, one thing I did forget to announce that the Archdiocesan Forum for the RCIA is having their next Initiation Ministries presentation. For the English, it will be August 1st. For the Spanish, it will be August 8th. And it's how to utilize the rights book, how to actually read it, how to understand what, excuse me, what it's saying. So that's going to be coming up. And Benny, if you could post those links at some point during the meeting, that'd be great. So that's coming up for the English, again, August 1st at, I believe it's 1:30, and for the Spanish, August 8th at 6:30. Thank you very much. There's the links. All those links are there. We'll also be posting all of this once the meeting is over, so you guys can find anything that you missed or pass it on. Okay, now I would like to introduce Monica, who wants to update you on our Rescue Atlanta coming up September 9th. Get those tickets. It's yours, Monica.
Hey, everybody, good morning. Well, we have extraordinary news. We already have 760 people registered. So this means that our capacity is only 1220. So that means we only have 460 tickets left, which, wow. We're getting closer to the event, but still have many months. So I'm afraid we're going to be sold out very soon. So if you haven't gotten your tickets, please go ahead and register. We know of many people that are going to register very soon because there's parishes that have been telling us. My most important message I wanted to give everybody is about these codes. There has been confusion, you see, because we offered the possibility of having a group code, like if you are a parish leader and you are registering 20 people for free, okay, meaning that you are paying for them, right? Because you want to, your parish and your pastor had decided, okay, we're going to get all our ministry leaders, all our catechists, we're going to be giving them these 100% gift, or we're going to give them a 50% gift. That's what the codes are for. Your parishioners in general do not need a code, right? Because there's somebody that said, okay, well, I give the code to my parish and put it on the bulletin. Well, that means your parish is going to pay for those 100 tickets or however. So that was just the message I wanted to make very clear. A code given to you is for your responsibility, meaning so that it's easier for the parish to say register their 20 catechists that they want to bring, then we will invoice that parish for those 20 catechists. So just want to make clear, like nobody, comes to surprises that all of a sudden there's an invoice for 200 people. And we have parishes that are already being registered, a lot of numbers, and some of them are not paid by the parish, so it's just the parishioners themselves because they have put the ads on the website, on their bulletins, on their website. So that's something else that we want to ask you, if you would like to invite your parishioners, just consider putting these messages on your websites. And if Benny can probably also put, Benny, can you put the link there? I think it's in evangelization, ATL, .com/rescue. At the very bottom, you scroll all the way down past the sponsors, and then all the way there's some links. You press that button and takes you to extraordinary, marketing resources and promotional resources. We even have some wording that you can adapt for your bulletins and for your social media. So we really encourage you to help us with that. And Michelle has something to say. Thank you.
I was just going to say, if we want, real quick, Monica, Benny can share screen and show exactly where to find those promotional materials for just a quick second. Benny, can you do that for us?
That's wonderful. Yeah.
And you can keep saying anything else you'd like. So.
Yeah, well, that's it. That's just a little redundant, but I'm going to tell you, this event, I want to explain to you, this is not really a come hear this presenter. This is a revival. It's a huge thing that is going to happen. It's a production. There's going to be hospitality. There's going to be music, the speaker. And not only that, we have two bishops coming. Bishop Ned is going to be doing the opening remarks. He's welcoming everybody. Then we're going to have Father John Ricardo taking care of everything. Then we're going to have adoration in the middle of the day, and then we'll have the Archbishop come also and do the closing remarks. So did you see where to click? You see Benny is clicking at the end there on the website.
Yeah,
that's a great
promotional materials.
Promotional
Look
materials.
for Monica's picture, and then you'll see all the wonderful materials. Go down and look on the link right there. Look at her beautiful smiling face, and then you get all the downloadable stuff. If by chance, folks, there is something on there that is going to resonate with a different group and you want it directed to them, please let me know. We'll see if we can do something that's directed to, say, maybe if you want it directed to your RCIA people and why this is so important for all your RCIA team catechists to go, or for whatever purpose, maybe a Bible study group that you want it targeted. Let us know. We can probably do some quick alteration that just says that to that specific group so you can send it out. Let me know, and I'll let you know if we can pull that off for you or not.
Yeah, and now the other thing I wanted to mention, there's a question, Laura, about parking. It's $10, and basically people just first come, first serve. So as you come into the venue, there's going to be, you could now, please check the website of the venue of Cobb Galleria Center, because it seems that you can pre-purchase your tickets. Okay, there's attendance there and you will just show your phone with that. So to facilitate that for you, because they do, in and out, you have to show your ticket. Now, somebody is saying, Shannon is saying, Haggard Record Challenge. Oh, yes, it's amazing, right? On Hallow, in the Hallow app. And is following to prepare September. St. Peter Chanel is bringing its whole staff. Yes, I know. This is wonderful. St. Peter Chanel has already 60 people registered, which is, go St. Peter Chanel. It's amazing. That's great. Not only that, but also Monsignor is sponsoring the event. He's, contributing to sponsor and offset the cost of those tickets. So it's just amazing, wonderful support we have to St. Peter Chanel. The other thing I wanted to point out is Spanish. If you have Spanish parishioners that want to come, we do have available earphones. I mean, Michelle is putting on her headset, and we have 2 interpreters, live interpreters on site. There's going to be a soundproof cabin there with the 2 interpreters there all day. So there's going to be, it's not going to be the same experience, right? As if you are really, like we're listening in English. Father Ricardo doesn't speak Spanish, but when the MCs, we have Albert Farage, who works with Father. He's another missionary in Acts 29, and he is from Honduras. So he'll be able to speak some Spanish to everybody. I will be there too. And we have volunteers that speak Spanish. So, Benny is correcting me. It is 74 now from St. Peter Chanel. Yay, St. Peter Chanel, go. That's amazing. Thank
Monica, I just wanted to point out that Laura Fenton was actually asking about bus parking. Do you know if buses, Laura, are you talking about like a large bus or the short buses from the church or school? Oh, you're muted.
Thought I unmuted. Sorry.
Yeah.
We are bringing probably close to 50 Spanish speakers. She's registering 31 today, but I know she's got more. That's Sister Maria Pia in our Spanish office. So she would like us for them to be able to come down via bus. So it's most likely going to be a school bus, I think, because I don't know that we're going to afford coach bus, and it's a short trip for us. So, anyway, that's.
Yeah, I didn't read that. Sorry, Laura. That's I was thinking just of parking. Yeah, I don't know about the bus parking. Thank you for asking. I will ask them and find out if there's bus parking. I mean, for what I know of the center, I don't see where they can park buses. I think they have to drop them off. Maybe they can come up here to the chancery, park the bus here.
I was just gonna ask if maybe, or they might be able to go over to what's the mall?
Cumberland, or even in Acres Mill, and just park in the parking lot there.
Right.
Yeah,
we'll
but
see
they're
what we can
ugly
find
there.
Out.
In those places, they're terrible for parking if you're not buying in there. Yeah. There's always I know that.
Well, the bus driver might go in and spend the day there rather than with us. So okay,
we can find out what we can.
Else, let me know.
We can find that, and if not, maybe park here at the chancery. And there's food across the street, and they can spend the day here and then go back and pick up the people. So let me find out. Thank you, Laura.
You.
Yeah.
Great.
Okay. Any more questions? Good to go. That's wonderful. So for those that are not with us now and will hear this recording, please hurry, because we have 460 tickets left, and I think St. Peter Chanel is going to take them all.
Thank you, Monica.
Right,
and I just want to say that, think about this for a minute from your own parish standpoint. If you have like the majority of your staff, some of your parish people, all on the same page for once, at least for one day going forward, okay, and then they are on fire, and then you come to us for the, Monica, can you speak to the equipping days coming up after, please?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Please. Thank you, Michelle. Okay, so as you know, Father John Ricardo has Rescue Project, which is the 8-week program, right? Like 8-week initiative with video for the parish, small group setting. And they really want us, I mean, they do have some equipping videos on their website. It's for free, but they really are insisting that we make sure that our parishes know how to use it. We have a good experience here in the Chancery. We run twice, so we kind of learn the nuts and bolts. And also we have other programs that we've been running in the past, like Alpha and so on. No? So we really want to offer support to our PCLs and whoever wants to run it. It could be even running at home. You can even open a group at your home and everything. So we're going to have 2 equipping days. One is on September, what's that, 18, Michelle? right after Rescue Atlanta is
Correct.
the next Monday. Monday, yeah.
I think that's
Correct
right.
me. Yeah, next Monday. And the next one is in October. That's
Correct.
October 14. It's a Saturday here in the Chancery also. The one here during the day, it's a 9 to 12, or it's just a short one, shorter than the Saturday one. The Saturday one is going to be a little longer, but because we want to have praise and worship and music and prayer and all these kind of things that you might not be able to get during the week just because of the shorter times and people have to go back to work. But we have 2 days, 2 equipping days, so that we can go together through the whole program and see the recommendations and best practices.
Thank you. And this is super important. So I just want to emphasize, this is just not a one-day event, as Monica has said. This is a springboard. This is a revival. This is a starting point for some of your people. This is them being on fire with the Holy Spirit. How do you channel that? So you channel that if you decide to do rescue project in your parish, but it's so important that you do it super well and that you understand the dynamics and what it's going to take to make that successful in your parish. And then from there, you think and you brainstorm and you work with Monica. Okay, so after we've run rescue project, what is next? How do we take those people on fire, channel them into ministries, start new ministries, have them being evangelizers, being disciples, going out and bringing more people in, evangelizing your own people first in your parish that have maybe a little bit fallen asleep or just taking things for granted. How do we build that fire back up into them? And how do you think from now to 3 to 5 years out? How do we do this so it's not just a program? That's not what this is. This is a springboard moment and a moment in history that you can move forward, having your people completely in love with Jesus, fired up by the Holy Spirit, and moving out into mission. So
yeah, thank you, Michelle, for those words. It's wonderful. And I think it's important that we understand that is, as you said, it's not just a one thing. We want to offer a path of discipleship, and a path takes several steps, right? So there's kind of like a ramp, entry ramps into the highway of discipleship, right? So there's entry ramps, and this one, rescue could very well be one of the first ramps that people discover Jesus, people start getting really in love and on fire. And as Father Ricardo says, the whole purpose is mobilizing people for mission. So it's important for everybody to understand where to place these in your path of discipleship at the parish, and especially how to, Michelle says it's a springboard, and then how to continue conducting, what to do at the parish, depending on each parish. There's so many things that can happen. I mean, and rescue is not the only thing, right? There might be other things that are, your favorites, and there are great things that you choose at the parish, which is great. But the most important thing we're going to call on your attention is to use it as a springboard in your path of discipleship. Now, Laura Fenton is saying, is there registration with equipping days? There will be. It's not out yet, but there will be. So coming soon.
it'll probably be in the newsletter that comes out next week. We should have it done by then. So, but we know that you want to come, so this is good. So, okay. So now I want to turn it over and introduce to you Sharon Adams. Sharon, I'm going to give it over to you, and if you give a brief as to what you are and what you're doing, and she's going to give us some great information on how we can take advantage in our parishes of basically wonderful free money that you can forward something that you've been really wanting to have done in your parish. You have this possibility, and now I'm going to leave it to Sharon to give us that, and she's going to got some slides to run through us, and all this will be recorded and on the website after the fact. Sharon, welcome and thank you.
Sure. Thank you. I appreciate the invitation today to be here and talk to y'all and help y'all learn more about our grants program. I'm really excited to help you learn how to get free money, actually. That's what our grants program is here to help your parishes. So I'm Sharon Adams. I'm the grants manager at the Catholic Foundation. I've been here over 8.5 years, and I would love to share with you more about our grants program. So let me get this presentation going. And Here we go. Let's see. Wait a minute. Wrong part. Let me go back to, I shared the wrong screen. Let's see. There we go. I keep sharing the wrong screen. Wait a minute. Why? Okay, wait. Let's see. Okay. Hold on. Let's see.
You're okay because we all do this, and if not, I think Benny has the backup slides in case you want him
Well,
to
I
run it.
have it, but let's see. I'm just
Okay.
Okay, let me start it and then share it. How about that? Will that work?
We'll find out.
Y'all see it? No?
Yep, we can see it says Catholic Foundation Grants Program.
Okay, good. All right. Yay. Okay. All right. So, I don't know what y'all know about the Catholic Foundation, but did you know that every parish and school in the Archdiocese has an endowment fund at the Catholic Foundation? And that's part of our mission, is to help Catholics make a lasting difference in the community. And we, with those funds, we grow them, and we support the current and long-term financial needs of parishes, schools, charities, and other ministries. And the grant giving program is part of our current mission. So we have different types of grants. The grants that you can apply for are the competitive grants. We have two different types of grants. Catholic community grants are grants over $1,000, and parish enrichment grants are for $1,000. And let me just say that I will have a PDF of the presentation to provide to you, so you don't have to take a lot of notes. And so that is, I'm going to go through this a little quick too, just so you don't have to write everything down. But we also have two other types of grants. We have endowment grants, which, like I said, every parish has an endowment grant. And once a year, we do the distributions for the parishes that have funds over $25,000. And then we also have donor advised fund grants, which are many Catholics have started charitable giving funds, and they may even contribute to your parish from that, their offertory, or even your St. Vincent de Paul conference. They may do grants to that. So the types of competitive grants for parishes. There's the spring cycle starts in February. Is the only thing parishes can apply for during that time are the parish enrichment grants. Those are for $1,000. That's an easy application. Online, it's a little more than 3 pages, but there's also the fall cycle, which it starts in August, and that's, you can apply for both the parish enrichment grant and the Catholic community grant, which is anything over $1,000. They must be, the only thing is they have to be for different projects, and they can't be for parish capital campaigns. And then the grant cycles, as I mentioned, for parishes, there's February 1st through 28th is the spring cycle just for parish enrichment grants. And then the fall cycle is August 1st through 31st, which you can apply for both. And the only other thing about the grant history is considered, but it's not necessarily eliminate you from consideration. So they look at the fact that some parishes need more than other parishes, that they don't have, strong offertories. So they do look at things like that as well in considering grants. So let's look at our Catholic Community Grants Program. This is actually, I know it's a parking lot and it's kind of a strange picture, but this is Corpus Christi. They used a Catholic Community Grant to repave their parking lot. They had tree roots come up and just, demolish part of their parking lot. So they applied for a grant to repair that. So our grants program is basically run from 3 grant priorities. Catholic social teaching and works of mercy, which includes most all charity work. This includes helping the needy, homeless, youth, elderly, anyone in the community. This includes our Respect for Life, care for the environment. So a parish could be running a program to help the community. So that would fall under that grant priority. Growing our Catholic faith is most anything in the parish. Strengthening our Catholic faith includes any parish need, religious programs, ministry programs, evangelization, anything for the local and greater church priorities. And then we have Catholic school education, which focuses just for the Catholic schools. So our Catholic Community Grant Program, like I said, is anything over $1,000. They can be for parish improvement projects. Like I said, the parking lot, replacing carpets. We see all kinds of requests. The bigger projects, ministry programs. So a lot of parishes have asked for help with purchasing formed and for any outreach in the community. So anything you have that you might need that's over $1,000, furniture for youth rooms, audiovisual, anything like that. You know, y'all are doing such great work, and I know you can think of many needs that you have. So there you go. Anything over $1,000 that you want, you can apply for. So parish enrichment grants. This was St. Thomas More, and they did, I think this is Catechesis of the Good Shepherd. That's another program you can apply for. We give out $1,000 grants twice a year. May not seem much, but $1,000, that can help a lot with a program. So 10 are awarded by deanery, and then the other 10 are based on the project in the need without regard to the deaneries. And these are decided by pastors. So the pastors know the parishes that are in need. So they do look at the project and the need of the parish as well. So, you know, if you're in the central deanery and you think, oh, you know, I'll never get that. But they do look at the project as well. So it is something, you know, apply, I would say. You know, it's worth it. So parish, you know, $1,000, any ministry could use $1,000. Small capital needs, you know, you can buy audiovisual equipment for $1,000 or a special project. So how do you apply for a grant? All our applications are online. Just go to our website, cfnga.org, and there's a login button in the upper right-hand corner. Or from our grants page on our website, there's a button called Grant Application Portal. You just click on that, and there is a section that shows you how to register. It's called a walkthrough, and it shows you every step you need to do the registration. And just to note that the application is actually not live in the portal till that grant cycle opens. But you can print out the questions ahead of time. They are there now. So you can go in there and see what the questions are to help you ahead of time, which hopefully will be helpful to you. But you can't actually fill in the answers yet until August 1st. But here's how you do the login. The first thing you need to do is create a new account. You can do that now. So if you don't have an account yet, most parishes might have an account, so you can check and see if you do. And so basically, if you're not sure, you can contact me, and I can look for you, because what I can do is just add you as a user to your parish account. But that's the first step. Create the account, and this is what it looks like. You'll fill in, you know, the name of your parish, the website, the email, the address. You do need the tax ID, and also your user information will be part of this. And then they ask for the executive officer, which would be your pastor, or if he doesn't want to be the contact, you can use like your business manager. Then just so you know, our website has lots of good information. So maybe before you do the application, I would suggest you go to our website, look at our grants page. There's got the grant guidelines are there for both types of applications. We also have a deanery locator. If you're not familiar with what deanery you're in, that's also on the application. So you can go right from the application to figure out what deanery you're in. And then also under the links section on the web, the grants page, there's some frequently asked questions that you might find helpful on before you do your application. So just some good things to look at before you complete your application. What's required? Since the Catholic Community Grant is a little more complicated, there are a few more requirements. For a parish, you only need 4 things: a covered letter signed by your pastor, and it doesn't have to be complicated. You can write out the letter yourself. It could have his electronic signature. It just needs to be on like parish letterhead. So I can show you a sample after this. A copy of your parish's tax ID, and you can include the page from the Kennedy directory. A parish is not required. The program budget or project budget. I can also show you an example right after this, but just something simple on a Word document is acceptable. It doesn't have to be anything elaborate, just showing the actual cost of the project. The total parish budget. This is a great resource. It's on the Archdiocese website. Let's see if I can. Let me pull this up real quick, and then it's slow to pull, but I will share it with you as soon as I get it up. But it's great for you to use because you don't have to go digging for information. Basically, let's see. Can y'all see that? Okay. What it is, it's under parishes. It's under Find a Parish. So, and then we'll look at Good Samaritan. It's a smaller parish. Just click on your parish and view the location. And then each parish has their last annual report listed. Some are older than others, but most have the 21-22 annual report listed. You can download that, and it's basically what was reported to your parish. This is all we need for a budget. It has broken out by like your religious education budget, donations, liturgy expenses. That's all we need. Nothing more elaborate than this. So you could save this, attach it to the application, and then here's what the operating income was for 2022 right there, the $398. You can put that down for, as like an estimated 2023 annual budget for 2023. That's fine. You can ask your business manager if that's sufficient, whatever, but that's all you need. I mean, we're not looking for exact details. That's fine. So you don't have to go to a lot of trouble. This is totally acceptable to us. So you don't have to stress over what all this is. That's good for a parish budget. There you go. But that's really all you need to do. So see, not too hard, right? And you don't need to attach the board council members because we know they're Catholic. That's one of the questions. If they're Catholic, and they are at a parish, so you don't have to do that part, and you don't have to do the financial audit. So you're good. You only need the 4 things. So yours is easier than everybody else's. So here's an example of a cover letter. It can be in paragraph. It doesn't have to be detailed. It just ask, you're just explaining why you want the grant, and that's it. And the pastor can sign it. And then here's a simple budget. This is for a faith curriculum. just says the number of students, the cost per student, and the total budget. And they're asking for $1,000 for a parish enrichment grant. That's it. Very simple. It doesn't even have to be, shaded in a chart. That's even a little more detailed than we even require. So very simple. That's a Word document. So how to write a good proposal? A lot of people ask that. Just follow the directions, make sure nothing's missing. Make sure the program budget matches what you're applying for. A lot of times people attach things that don't match what they're asking for. So just make sure that you've attached what you're applying for, and that it aligns with our grant priorities, which in a parish usually it does, and that you explain the need that the church is meeting in your parish or community and why the funding is needed. Not hard, right? So my best advice is don't wait till the last minute. Some people will apply on the last day, and then they're like, oh, I can't get a letter signed by my pastor. He's out of town. Oh gosh, I didn't get a quote on this. What do I do? So that's my best advice. Just start early, and then it'll be easy. So now, why does it take so long? Like, you apply in August, why does it take so long to get a grant check? Well, just wanted to explain a little bit about the process. Once the grant process, the application cycle is ended, in September, we're reviewing all the grant applications. Then in October, the grant committee meets for the Catholic community grants and reviews them. And usually about the beginning of November, the pastors will meet and review those applications. Then right before Thanksgiving, the board will meet and vote on the applications. So you will normally hear back on your application right after Thanksgiving or early December. And you're notified via email. So it's usually December before you get your check. So that's why it takes so long. And then for the spring, you apply in February, but they usually meet right before Memorial Day. So it may be June before you get your check. So that's just why the process takes so long. Now, there are some requirements needed on your part. Once you find out you receive a grant award, you have to sign a grant agreement, which just states you'll spend the money for what you said you would spend it for, and that you will use it in not for anything that doesn't meet the Catholic teachings, that's easy for a parish. And then you have to do a follow-up report. And for the spring grants, it's due February 15th of the following year. And then the fall reports are due July 30th of the following year. And that's all done online. So it makes it very easy. And you get a follow-up reminder via email. So it makes it easy. Now, one thing to remember is you're not eligible for a future award if you haven't submitted a report. So anyone else in your parish who has received an award and hasn't done their grant report can affect you being able to receive your grant. So we do send follow-ups for those. And we'll let you know if there is one missing. So if you've applied for a grant and we're looking for a grant report, we may ask for your help in obtaining that grant if perhaps that person's not responding. Now, one other thing we ask for is for you to share that grant was given to your parish. So we may publish in your bulletin or newsletters, or even on online on social media. So these happen to be schools that shared pictures on social media, and this was on their electronic sign. They shared it, and we will share your gratitude. So we will post them online. We even put things in our annual report. So and I think it helps. We put them in our press release. So I think it helps show other parishes what people are doing and other parishes. And I noticed that parishes tend to do what other parishes are doing for projects. I think they see and they get ideas. So I think it's very helpful when you share what we are doing, because I think parishes like to see what are other, people doing in other parishes. It gives them ideas. So we appreciate when you share it too. So just to wrap up, some important dates coming up that from last fall, the reports are due the grant reports are due July 30th. And the fall cycle will open up August 1st. And then the applications will all be due by August 31st. So anytime during the month of August, you can work on the application. You can save it. You don't have to finish it in one day. The questions can be a little more, there's one section where there's paragraph questions. So during that, you can save it and come back to it. You don't have to complete it all in one day. Just know that. And then the spring cycle for parish enrichment grants will open up in February of next year. So, and you can apply more than once. You can apply every cycle for the parish enrichment grants. Okay. Just because you apply once doesn't matter. So I wanted to give you the opportunity to ask questions, and just know that this presentation is available PDF version, so as well.
This is awesome information, Sharon. Thank you so much. If anybody has a question, feel free to open up your mic or put it in the chat. If you've received a grant, I'd love to hear from some of y'all, if you're online with us now, if you received a grant, what you used it for, and how very easy they've made it for you. So let us know.
Sharon, I have two questions. It's Elaine
Sure.
Phillips. The first one is it just one group per parish per cycle that can apply for a grant?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So here, I'll stop sharing. Yes. So you can receive a Catholic community grant and a parish enrichment grant, but only one of each. So different groups can apply for one or the other, but you can only get one of each.
Okay. So
But
what I'm
different groups
thinking
can.
of is, for instance, if someone in faith formation decides they want to apply for a parish enrichment grant during the time when it's only parish enrichment grants, and unbeknownst to them, their Knights of Columbus chapter or whatever is also applying, only one of them can get it. But would you let them know you've got two groups that are applying for this?
Yes, but
Okay.
that's the reason the pastor's letter is important,
Yeah.
because then that's why the pastor signs it, because he's aware that someone is applying. He's like, because you have to ask your pastor to apply, basically.
Right. Okay.
So that's why it's helpful.
And then my second question is, since we've got youth ministers and faith formation leaders on here, can you give some ideas of what people in the faith formation area, like what are some of the grants that you've approved in the past? What have they used it for?
Well, faith formation, some of the programs are the Catechesis of the Good Shepherd,
Mhm.
the Formed. A lot of people have used Formed to purchase that. I mean, I think that's maybe a $2,500 grant, $3,000, something like that.
What about like transportation? Have youth ministers applied for that to
youth
go
groups
to?
have applied
Yep,
for
okay.
retreats, transportation for retreats. I think the grants committee likes to see when it helps multiple people versus like a single person.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, so they would rather see that. A lot of confirmation retreats.
Great. Okay.
People have even applied for to continue programs like after confirmation, even like follow-up programs. So many different things. I'm trying to think. A lot of youth programs.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just trying to give people an idea of what are things, because you may not think, oh, I can't, like I wouldn't even think to apply for a
Oh,
grant,
yeah.
but
I
I
mean, a
want
lot
them
of
to know, like, you
audiovisual,
can.
yeah, a lot of, audiovisual things, TVs. The other thing is we'd love to get pictures if you do get a grant. A lot of people just send us a picture of a TV, but we would love to have pictures with people in it because that's the kind of thing we can publish, pictures with people.
Yeah. I
And
know one youth minister applied and got the $1,000 grant to, I'd say revamp the youth room, but it was really to establish a youth room,
oh,
just to
yes.
get started. So that's another idea for people.
Yes. And I think even too,
Yeah.
parishioners might even match a grant if they know you're, if you can get some money, they might help you. I've seen that happen too.
It's a great idea.
Yeah.
A matching grant as far as from coming from the parish. Lynn, you had a question?
No, just a comment. We recently applied for 2 grants and received them both. One was to help pay the child care for our women's Bible study program, and the other one was to buy all new AV equipment for our adult formation program. And I know a while back a priest applied for one for us, and we got a big screen, an outdoor screen, projectors, all kinds of goodies to do adult ed out in the yard. And our school has applied for several. One is the picture of all the kids holding the computers. That's our school. They got a grant for those. And I was just talking to my youth minister, and he's all excited about applying for a grant to get the kids to confirmation retreat.
That's
So I'm
awesome.
glad I
Yeah.
snuck in here.
Yeah. So, and Corpus Christi just posted they used it for Life Teen students to attend Stubby, which we just had
Yes.
last weekend, which is awesome. And Kelly, you said that you got some stuff for Catechesis of the Good Shepherd, which we know is a phenomenal program. And yes, it's expensive, but it's worth it. Kathy, you had something you wanted to say?
Yes, I'm from St. Stephen the Martyr. We've applied for 2 grants and we received them both, different cycles. The first we used for Vacation Bible School. We wanted to expand it and reduce our prices so that we could entice, more families, more parishioners to be involved with it. And it was a huge success. And then the other one we used for our Life Teen Confirmation Retreat, which was also wonderful for, helping with the cost, because it was very costly, and then we could reduce the price for the candidates and for the Life Teen members. So thank you very much. They were very much appreciated.
So thank you, Kathy. So this is like money hiding in plain sight, folks. It's it's the low hanging fruit. They want to give this to us all.
Yes.
So
It's
make
available.
sure. Yeah, it's available. Thank you, Sharon. And this has been so unbelievably helpful, and so informative. Again, this has been recorded so you could be able to watch it after the fact. Sharon, we'll also do a link to the PDF if you send that to
Okay,
us,
sure.
so that we can put that in the newsletter next week. If people missed it, they can get it that way. So anybody else have any last minute things that they would like to bring to the table, either about grants or something that doesn't have anything to do with grants? So now is your time. We've got about 4 minutes before we need to close out. You should be flooded with grant applications now,
Yay,
Sharon, because it
yay.
starts August 1st for the next round. You've got like 2 weeks to get it put together and think about it and get in there first and get it done so that they can consider it from August 1st to August 31st, right?
Well, it's open till August 31st. So
Okay.
you
Yeah.
have the
So
whole
it doesn't
month to
matter
apply.
what time you put it in during the month of August.
That's
Just
right.
get it in during the month of August. So I hope you
Yes.
are like flooded with 1,000 more requests. I know it makes more work for you, but it's good that the information is getting out and that people know that this is available for a variety of things that you wouldn't think of normally. So I think
Yes.
that's great. Thinking outside the box of what do you need? What have you been dreaming about? And see if you can get some
Exactly.
seed money for this. This is awesome. So I thank you,
Yes.
Sharon, for coming on board.
Oh, thank
Um,
you.
thank you all our PCLs for joining us. Next month, we'll be having Jenny Weldon coming on to talk to about the virtuous training that's coming up in the fall for lessons 3 and 4. If you have any other questions, safe environment questions, she'll also be here to answer that. Last plug, we are going to be having a new PCL orientation in November 7th. 7th. Thank you, for November 7th. So we'll be getting that out to you as well. We'll have the ministry fair so you can get to know everything. But if you've been a new PCL in the last 3 years and you haven't come to last year's orientation, we want to see your lovely faces. So I thank you for that. From all of us in OED, have a wonderful rest of the summer. Try to get some breath. Take a breath. Also, register for Rescue Atlanta in September 9th. Do that now before we run out of tickets. And I ask God's blessings upon each and every one of you in the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Good and gracious God, thank you for this opportunity to meet, to talk, to understand, to share, to smile, to laugh, to appreciate. Lord, you are first in our hearts. Let us keep you in the correct place as we move forward, doing your work as missionary disciples. Thank you, Jesus, for all that you do with us. In your name we pray. Amen. Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Amen. Thank you very much. We'll see you next month. If you have anything you need, get in touch with us. We're here for you guys. Thank you very much.